Okay, welcome guys. So, welcome to Pycoders Academy Python course. So previously we tagged on print function and we learned how to output a variable or data type to the user. And today we will treat the opposite, which is input. So let's say we want to accept something from the user. Let's say we want the user to type something for us to use in our code. We just use the input function. So the input function is a function to handle input or accept input. So it is used to handle input or accept input, and all the inputs accepted are turned to string. So this is very key. So any input that the user will type, it get turned to a string. So take note, and we can assign input to variables. So let's look at an example. So assigning input to variables, we just do let's say we want to assign to the variable name good. So good equals, let's say, input. Then okay, let me do this for now. So understand that we can accept it, we can assign input to variables. To explain this line, so next line is syntax. Syntax is how like it is used. So here we have variable name, we have input, then the reason for input, then maybe colon or question mark, anything like you want, then you put it there. So this will be printed out to the user. So let's look at an example. Let's say our variable name is good and we use the input function. So let's say we want to print something out. Let's say how are you. We want to print how are you out. How are you? We want to accept an input asking the user how are you. So let's run this code. So you can see the how are you and colon got printed out here. So you put here will be printed out here. Then we type what, maybe how are you, then I say I'm good. So I'm good. That's all. The program will be finished. Since we are not printing anything out, we won't see any result. So let's print the variable out. And remember, I said when you take an input, it get turns into a string. So let's look at something. Run. So I'm good. So you see I'm good. What we just typed in, I'm good, got printed out here. So that's the way to accept input. Yeah, that's the way to accept input. So you can also do it straight away without saving it in a variable. Like, let's see something, but that is a poor way to be coding. So input, and we say, let's say the same how are you, how are you. Okay, then you say I'm good. So the same result, but this is very poor way to code, because it won't be easy for the reader to read. But if you insert the input function inside a variable and you print it later, that one is a very good way to use the input function. Then we can also uh, get our result in a new line, as we did in strings, using the new line character. So let's say we have good as our variable, and we say let's use the input function, then we say how are you, sorry, how are you, then we do colon, then we bring the backslash n. Let me see something. So backslash n. Okay, so let's print out this code. So you can see when I started typing, it went to a new line. So the new line character, I'm good. The new line character brings what you have to type in on a new line. So as we have here. So instead of it being in like the same line with the question, it got into a new line. So using the character, the new line character, you can achieve this. Okay, so I think that's that for input functions.